Active listings in Maryland just hit their highest number for all of 2023 at the same time that interest rates fell more than 0.5% in the same week. So what effect is this having on the housing prices and competition as we're going into 2024? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about in this video and the opportunities I see for buyers right now. So let's just jump right in. Hey everyone, my name is Eddie Brady and I'm a realtor here in Maryland, and if this is your first time visiting the channel, thank you for being here. I make videos like this every single week about what you should know about the Maryland real estate market before moving here. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And what a wild ride it's been for real estate in our country over the last 3 years, and in Maryland we are not exempt from this roller coaster. I've been covering this inventory crisis that we've had in Maryland for the entire year, and now I'm finally seeing a sliver of positive hope from our multiple listing service and the data that they provide as we're going into 2024. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. The first piece of positive news I want to bring up is that we just saw interest rates drop from over 8% to around 7.4% in just 1 week. Now, this might not seem like a lot for some people, but this can equate to hundreds of dollars a month off your mortgage payment, and because of that, we've seen a change in the market almost immediately. We saw a 2.5% increase in new listings on the market in Maryland over this time last year, and the reason that it's correlated to the interest rates is so many sellers are just sitting on their houses with low interest rates, waiting for those drops to list because they know they have to buy a house on the other end. So as soon as they see slight improvements in interest rates, that's where you're going to see the increase in new listings. And at the same time, even though we're down with showings on homes over 9% year over year, we were up last week 3% with showings on homes, and that is also due to this positive mortgage rate data. Now here's where things get really interesting. Normally when supply goes up, just like it did, you see home values go down, but what we're seeing in this market is that home values are up 4.2% year over year. And this leads me to say the same thing I've been saying on these videos for well over a year now, and that's that the home prices in Maryland are likely to continue going up for years to come. Other than some very speculative theories on what could happen with a housing market crash, there's really not that much data to support that. Actually, the majority of the data supports that home values should continue to increase. That's with record low inventory, even with these new listings we're seeing hitting the market, and home builders throttling back on their new housing starts. It just makes sense that the housing prices are going to continue to rise going into 2024 and 2025. But even with that, I see a huge opportunity for home buyers right now. And first, we have to get the idea that 3% interest rates are coming back out of our heads. We have to accept the current market for what it is and think about the future. And the opportunity I see here is that currently there are sellers overpricing their homes because they're not reading the market correctly. And currently homes are on the market for more days than they were last year. And when you have homes on the market for more days than last year, let's say 2 weeks or more, it's more likely that you as a buyer can ask the seller for things like seller credits towards a rate buy down. Now, this is something you couldn't even begin to think about in 2020 and 2021, but now at the end of 2023, we're seeing this all the time. I'm seeing multiple sales being completed with seller credits to the buyers. And the best thing you could do right now is buy down that rate because that's permanent. You can lower your monthly housing costs by asking the seller for a credit directly towards your rate buy down. And why do I think this is an opportunity right now instead of next year? Well, if rates do fall like they're predicted to by the Mortgage Bankers Association, well, the competition is going to be fierce out there. And then you're going to have to really sacrifice on terms in order to win a house. And you're definitely not going to be asking for a seller credit when you have 10 or 12 or 15 other offers that are competing with yours. And the way I see it is that you have to look at real estate as a long-term investment and what's most likely to happen. And if you look at the historical data and everything we're currently seeing in the market, it's likely that home prices will continue to rise. So if you can make the payment work right now, if it's not stretching your budget too thin, I highly recommend buying the house now, and if rates do drop later, you can refinance then. And the reason I'm telling you all of this is because I'm talking to buyers just like yourselves every single week, and every single person is telling me they want to wait for rates to drop. And what does Warren Buffett say? When everyone is fearful, be greedy. And I think this is the time to do that. I think this is the time where you have the opportunity to go get the house you want with the least amount of competition, and also get the terms that you want, and potentially get a rate buy down so that you're maybe even lower than what the rates might be in 2024 and 2025. So if interest rates really are the only thing holding you back, I highly recommend reconsidering that decision if you can afford it right now. You got to do something different than the crowd so you're not a part of them next year regretting your decision. And I know that some of you do not have the option to move right now. Some of you have a job start date in Maryland that isn't even until next spring or summer. and you're listening to this saying, well, what do I do? Well, I think the strategy for you, whether you own a home or rent right now, is to save money. I think cash is king in a competitive environment. That's what I've seen over the past few years. I think that's the way you win homes, especially your dream home. If you're competing against 15 or 20 other offers, cash is king for winning those homes. So start saving as much cash as possible. Cut your expenses down to the absolute minimum. Don't go on those bougie date nights if you don't have to. Save money if you have to wait. That's my best advice I can give you. If you do that and you come into this market with cash and a really strong mindset to be aggressive and go out there and start offering on homes, I can help you win in that market as well. And I know there's an entirely different group of you watching this right now that aren't sure what you can afford. If I say the term debt to income ratio, you're like, what the heck is that? Well, you don't have to know all of that. That's what lenders are for. That's what I'm here for. Just give me a call. I'll help you determine really how much you can afford in this market at these rates. I can help you determine whether now is the right time to buy or not. Let's hop on that phone call. It's no pressure. We'll talk things through and figure out what you should do for your future move. And the easiest way to reach out to me is go into the description or the comments and click on the link to schedule a one-on-one call with me. We'll go over everything you need to know about that move. And if it's easier, send me a text, send me an email, go to my Instagram at Eddie Brady Real Estate and DM me on there. However you reach out to me, I am happy to help you. And as always, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe so you stay up to date on all of my videos about moving to Maryland.